everyone. We'll start off by taking a mask and then afterwards make this horizontal line to it. Now make this V-shaped line to it and then wrap the thread around the needle. Going to the bottom portion of it, pull the needle through, use some red thread for this, loop this multiple times around the needle and then pull it through as such. Once you pull it through, it'll look like two cherries. Next, we'll start off by taking this sweater material and then take the top of it, fold it multiple times over at the top. Now thread the needle and then pull it through as such at the top. Afterwards, take the thread and then loop it around the needle as such. Now take turns alternating between them as such. As you can see, we are doing the right side, then we'll do the left side. Continue to do this until you cover a significant portion of the needle. Now, after you are done with it, then you may pull it through and then set it along the front of the sweater. After this, however, after you've done a significant portion, add a pearl into it to make it all the more decorative. Now, after you've added the pearl, continue to add more sections to it and then afterwards wrap it around the front. Tie a knot to it in the side and this is what it should look like. Next, as you can see, there is a small tear. Thread your needle and then slowly begin to stitch it on either side. Make the stitch to it and then wrap the thread around it as such. Now slowly begin to stitch along the lines of this cut that you have made. As you can see, we are going along the edge. However, we are making sure that the thread loops around the needle and then we are proceeding with it. We are going from side to side as well. We are making these horizontal crisscross stitches as you can see. Draw it together even if it is not together. Do it till you reach the end of it and then once you reach the end of it, tie a knot to it. And then because of the way that you've stitched it, this stitching will match with the cloth, that is the cloth stitching that it naturally came with. Tie it up and then this is what it should finally look like. Make sure that you join in with the ending of the other stitch before you start with your new one. Next, take this jean material and then diagonally cut through it as such. After you diagonally cut through it using a marker, begin to make these circular shapes using a coin as such. Continue to do so until you reach the bottom. Now, after this, make sure that you cut out these wavy shapes to it as well. As you are cutting out these wavy shapes, this is what you should be left with. Now, make these small slits at the bottom as well. As you are making these small slits, this is what it should begin to look like. Now, wrap them all together as such. This will be the final look of it. Next, as you can see, there is the stair. Now, slowly begin to thread your needle and then begin to horizontally stitch across it as such. Continue to do so, you may leave gaps between the stitching. Join the two together as well, pull it together in order to do so. Now, do this from the bottom to the top of the stitch. Afterwards, once you reach the top, you may tie a knot to it. As you continue to do so, once you have gone all the way to the top, then go with the back of the needle and then slowly begin to go backwards as such. It will form this crisscross effect to it. Tie a knot to it once you're done. Next, take this needle and a thread and then afterwards slowly begin to stitch through it as such. Now afterwards, slowly begin to make this slightly diagonal stitch. You're making it horizontal, however, you're making it wider and wider as you go with it. Now, as you can see, this is what it should begin to look like. You can leave a small gap in between them as well. Now, once you reach the end of it, this is what it should look like. You may also use a clothes chalk in order to mark the line along which you are stitching it. And now, after you're done with this portion of it, then you may pull it tight together so that the gaps are covered up with it and it makes the sweater tighter. Thank you for watching.